broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is.
Yes.
Just an epic entrance. Hello and welcome to the Heroes Reborn after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV.
You know what this kind of sounds like? What was it? Sa Temwa.
I'm not getting the reference.
You guys don't know the song?
I don't know. I don't know the song.
Sa Gomwa.
We have a lot to talk about.
Enigma.
We don't have a lot of time up front for our usual banter. We have to jump right into it. We have so much to talk about. We have a special guest joining us. He plays Brad on the show. It is Jake Manley.
Yeah!
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for joining us. This was a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before I say that, I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann. That's at Steve Kaufmann, Kaufmann. And to my left.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marisa Serafini.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, Twitters and stuff.
Sure. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
Thank you.
You're
Moving
welcome.
on to me, Khaliel Abooboo. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
Yes, and I'm Jonathan Meza, and you could find me at KaibaCat on all those social things.
And Jake, I didn't give you a chance to plug your Twitter.
Oh, my Twitter is my name, Jake Manley, and then underscore, and my Instagram is just my name, Jake Manley.
Keeps it simple.
Man.
Manley. There's
L-E-Y.
an E in there.
Congrats for nabbing that.
Yeah, right.
Because I've seen people.
I know, yeah, I was quick on it.
I've seen people not be quick on a new
No.
social media thing, and then they're.
That's why Twitter, I have an underscore.
Somebody got it on Twitter.
Yeah, I gotta try and kick them off or something.
So
Yeah.
we're all huge fans of this show, and we want to hound you for information.
Oh, really?
So we're gonna try not to do that.
Yeah,
I gotta get out.
We're gonna try not to do that and just ask you a couple questions. What is it like working on a show like this?
It's been a blast. It's been like the experience of a lifetime. Just mainly the people, the cast is just such this tight-knit family, and it's even though it's such a large cast, everyone is just fits together so well. And I've worked on like ensemble cast projects before, and usually there's odd people out that don't really vibe or something like that. And no, it's not the case with this. It's like this big wacky family, and yeah, everyone hangs out and has good times, and they're all talented people, so it's a lot of laughs, and it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. So you get to play a bully in this.
I do.
You play the bully, but you have a bully with a heart.
Yeah, he's just a little misunderstood, and yeah, I kind of see where he's coming from to a certain extent. Like I can see, like I don't necessarily relate to like his way of approaching things.
So you're not a bully?
I'm not a bully.
What the hell,
No.
man?
You're very
That's
believable.
acting,
Yeah.
right? No.
Yeah, you had me fooled.
No, it's good that I have people fooled. I seem to do well with that kind of like
Tricking people?
tricky. Not tricking people, but like playing a bully. I've played bullies and other things, and but yeah, it's fun. It's almost more fun to be a bad guy than a good guy sometimes, and there are no good guys without the bad guys as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you see, like after the end of the second episode, he's got a little more depth to him, and you understand a bit more of where he's coming from. And I think a common thing is he's just trying to see how he can benefit from these powers. Like so many people in this world are looking to see how can they get ahead and benefit from these.
Are you going to have powers?
The power of manipulation, maybe.
That's a good power. Actually.
I don't need a power. I just bully people until
There you
go.
Yeah.
It's a very natural power.
He's not
like
an
that.
Evo in any way. He
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Some normal people are able to just.
Regular
I'm just-
human.
My presence is a power.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very true.
There you go.
And apparently from this last episode, he could do a wicked keg stand. So
Yeah.
that's
I
just
throw a
real
good
bad.
party,
Yeah, right?
okay?
Throw a wicked party.
Throw a wicked party.
That is a talent, if not a
It
power.
is.
To throw an awesome party.
It's not easy.
But yeah, I think it's about time
Get it
we can
into the
jump into the episode.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another important question is: are you a fan of the show?
Oh, yeah.
A fan of the original heroes or the new heroes?
Both.
Just in general.
Both.
Both, yes. I mean, I didn't watch the original Heroes when it came out. I knew tons of friends that were like really into it, and I didn't know much about it. And then after coming on board this project, I started to learn more about it, and I watched a bunch like on Netflix and became like a fan of it. And I think the new one is great. I think it's a great mix of the new and the old, and there's these new exciting characters as well as, you know, people's and fans' favorites, which is kind of cool to see them mix. And the universe is just so grand, you can just keep doing stuff with it. So I think it's really interesting for sure.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
We're excited, and we'll start with the segments you're involved in, which we're a little Brad light on this episode.
Yeah.
We're a little-
Yeah.
Just I think he was a little hungover after that party.
Probably.
He didn't know
Putting
much.
it back together.
But high on life.
I'm
That's
excited.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens when you find out your new BFF is with your
I know,
your
someone's
honey
sneaking
dip.
behind me. A little love triangle right
Yeah.
now, but it seems like we're both there for him, and that's kind of what this, you know, Tommy, this character, he kind of needs. He wants to be this regular person and fit in, and he almost needs this protection and this kind of coddling, which is interesting. And I think this is a great episode for Tommy because he really starts to like branch away, like he defies his mom for the first time, and you see how kind of shocked and surprised she is, and things like that.
And he also gets to learn why his mom's been protecting him.
Yeah,
And
she's not fully telling him something, but he knows, you know, he has this other person who's looking out for him, sending him these text messages, and who ultimately is, you know, he's gaining friendships because of this guy. Like, you know, Tommy didn't make my stepfather disappear, so
The Penny Man.
The
Penny
Man.
Man.
is that what we're officially going with Penny?
I'm going with Penny Man.
his name's they don't.
No.
Almost
I
had.
think people. No, I read a review where they used. His
Oh
name.
no,
Oh,
you
they did?
didn't.
I'll
No.
go with
I
Our
that.
should've-
faces gave it away. That's what it was. Like we all got excited. Like
We all
he's
went, wait, what?
And, like,
Right. What's his name?
We've
Can you
never,
say his name?
I don't know if I can. That's a good question.
Then
Yeah,
probably,
okay.
then
Maybe
probably
we'll
not.
just-
You know, I'm gonna be so disappointed. He's like, "What's his name?" Oh, Bill. It's just his Bill.
It's actually it's a great name.
Oh yeah.
It's a great name.
It's Bill Pennyman.
Yeah.
Is it anything cooler like Siler?
Yes,
All right.
it is cool like that.
It's cool like that.
It's not like a
Alright.
traditional name, so.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
And it's not the
That's
Penny
good to
Man,
know.
unfortunately. But if you're
Yeah.
missing any
The
pennies,
streets
you
will
know.
call him the
Yeah.
Penny Man.
Yeah, the
That's right.
streets like Penny Man.
Penny Man in the hood.
Yeah.
So how do we feel? How do we feel about, like, what's our general prediction on who the Pennyman is and who he works for? Do we think
He's
it's
like-
all? Do we think it's all Renal?
I think he's like how they did in the previous Heroes, where they had the they weren't the committee, but you know, like that picture with all the old people.
Yeah.
I think he's like one of
He's
them,
a remnant.
like a new.
He's a remnant of Primatech.
Well,
I
I don't
think a
know if he's
remnant of
directly
Primatech.
related to Primatech, but he might be, you know,
I-
that same kind of
But
thing.
similar, where Primatech wasn't doing the best stuff.
Because Renatus is technically
Yeah.
a remnant of Primatech.
It's an entity for sure. I think he might have been working with Noah maybe in the past. But because every time you see Pennyman, he's always by himself. But if he ever met with Noah, if we had a scene with him, maybe they do know each other and they did actually work together in the past.
Yeah, I'm on the same page right there.
I-
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, you know, we're talking like good Primatech. You know what I mean? Not Renatus.
Bad Primatech.
Yeah, and we did see that scene last episode where when Noah was pulling the library books off of the shelf, one of them said Penny.
Yeah, that's right.
So
it did.
like, I think
We're-
they're connected.
Yep.
I
We
think
study this
Yeah,
seriously.
you guys are.
We
you
pause.
guys
We
catch
actually
a lot of stuff.
all the
Yeah.
books. We wrote down the names of every book that he pulled out.
For the secret compartment.
And
Did you
I think
actually, or
episode.
are you just being
No, they did.
No,
I'm
No,
serious.
it's
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
serious.
I was there. They hit pause. That's why the night ran so long.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's not why.
That's why.
Kidding. That's not why at all. And not a whole lot of Tommy, but just enough because we essentially get Tommy, his mom telling him, "Don't do this." He teleports himself.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like he's
Ah.
learning his power.
We get to see Tommy teleport himself instead of teleporting other people. He did push-ups.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what?
True.
But I mean, that's because he was trying to get you know, swole. He was trying to get jacked.
Yeah,
he's
you gotta-
first lady.
party with a girl that he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get your pump on. I mean,
Yeah.
that's important.
You've got to
I mean, he's
get.
got to keep up with Brad too. So.
I mean, he doesn't
He's
have
hard
the,
to compete with.
He doesn't have the upper body strength or balance to pull off that cake stand.
Exactly.
That's how you get started. You just do some
practicing.
push-ups.
Yeah.
But his power also just does show the audience that he has the ability to teleport himself and other people. That will come in handy.
Yes.
in
Yes.
the
Yeah.
finale,
Because it-
whatever's about to go
Before that, this whole thing was just he had no idea where people were going.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of clued
Figuring it
into
out.
like I'm controlling where they're going,
Yeah.
I can control where I'm going, and that's a very powerful tool, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, dude.
And that actually plays
Yeah.
into my theory on Pennyman that I think I'm alone on. That Pennyman has the same power, just very evolved. That instead of just people and things, it's thoughts within people and things, and he can put them in other things. And that the pennies are everyone's thoughts. It's deep.
penny for your
His
thought.
face says
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
wrong. His face says you're
No, no,
close,
no,
but
no.
you're wrong.
You have no idea. Everything we're talking about, we were trying to read you.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, just like-
if this were a poker game, I swear, man, like I'm all in right there. on that one.
That's so I could do my acting, right? Like I gotta put it on. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we covered that. We can move on to, instead of moving straight to L.A., where we have the Gutierrez and the Dirty Cops, we can get the folks heading to L.A.
Oh boy.
And we get to learn so much about them.
Oh,
Trouble
boy.
in Paradise.
Yeah.
There's Trouble in Paradise.
Oh, is there? Oh.
Broken family.
Heated knives. Heated knives that also heat steaks on a plate.
Well,
I have a theory about this whole thing.
go for
Okay.
it.
Okay, so you see him heating the knife, you see the car breaking down, right? And then you see him, going nuclear.
Yes.
Now, this is
Yeah.
what I gotta say. The explosion on June 13th was him.
Uh-oh.
The last thing you see is an image from above, him looking up at the sun, and then they cut to the explosion. That's my thought. He is the explosion.
that seems right.
He's a nuclear man.
Because I've been saying he's the Peter Petrelli of this arc, but I'm wondering, is he just an exploding man, or is he Peter Petrelli where he met an exploding man once? Either or, all about this.
Yeah. Regardless of what the case is, I believe that he is the explosion that happened June 13th. And it looked like at the end of this episode, he's exploding. That's what it looked like. He
Yeah,
looked like he was going nuclear. So
The Lido Motel, he
That-
definitely exploded.
Yep.
Whether
think
he
it-
exploded the whole Lido Hotel,
Right.
we don't know. Motel, we don't know yet.
I think it's very interesting how his whatever ability that he has right now is very, very similar, if not the same, as the first exploding man in season 1.
Yes.
Why again? Why repeat that when we've already had a whole season about that?
Yeah.
Unless it evolves.
Well,
Unless
people
it
can have. I feel like people can have.
Maybe
more
it's
than-
just how men feel after getting in arguments with their wives.
That's
just how we all.
Just like, I just don't even, what are you?
Yeah.
Why are we?
Maybe. I just find it interesting how they're repeating that type of trope again.
That's true. That is true.
I do find that very interesting, and I like how they make pretty much marital bliss and just people who are together for a long time, and just play that into people who are trying to do a goal, pursue a goal, do a goal.
I
What a
think that-
goal. What a
Yeah.
goal they
Yeah,
have.
when you have a goal like that, like I feel like marital problems kind of fall to.
Yeah, I think that marital bliss was not blissful whatsoever.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't seem that way. Yeah, I mean, in the images with the kid when he was going back, just gave some clues on like the separation between the husband and wife too, and just in the interaction, like the father and him, the kid liked the water and what they liked, and the mother does. There always seems to be some sort of a rift between them. That it goes to show in their relationship now, like there is a very obvious rift between them, but there's just something odd about it. Even when I see the little glimpses that we get from back in the past.
Yeah.
See, I see their whole pathway that from the mother, this path seems like it's more out of vengeance. For the father, it seems more out of justice.
And you know what else I noticed about them, as far as like being opposites, is one of us and one of them, the old Prometech slogan.
But it seems inadvertent. Like, it seems like she doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think she knows.
And she would want to kill him if she knew.
Yeah, exactly right. I think, yeah, exactly. She'd want to kill him.
She
don't
seems
trust
like
her.
she's kind of like gone off her rails a little bit, and he's trying to,
figure it out.
he's trying to like, he wants to, as much as he wants justice, like you said, I think he doesn't want to cause the same pain to like other people that they went through, and so.
And it's pretty much he doesn't... Like, it seems like he got in with good intentions with her, and now they've grown completely apart.
Yeah.
And he has to deal with that. Of like, oh, we have different goals
As
now.
isn't any relationship.
Pretty much. So they're heading to get Oscar Gutierrez in Los Angeles.
Who's already dead?
I know, right?
He's already dead. Oh.
He's already dead, but his son,
But he'll meet up
No,
with
his brother.
Carlos.
his brother, sorry.
Yeah, but his brother is not an Evo at this point.
No, he's
His
not.
brother Carlos is
Yeah.
not an Evo. He is the, you know, El Vengador, but he is not. He's not an Evo,
But
which we
he's-
see in this.
He's now helping Evos, right? With
Yes. So this is actually, boy, we've jumped to the next character. Might
We're
as well.
right there.
He is a character that I'm actually really loving at this point because he's not an Evo, and so he's doing all these things that the Evos would be doing, you know, the heroes would be doing, but he's doing it as a human, which we talked about last time. You actually,
Yeah.
all right, it was Roxy who brought it up last time, and I really connect with that because he's essentially the Batman.
Yeah.
Of this show, dressing up in a mask, regular man, doing things that are, you know, that are pushing the human limits. He is the Batman of our show.
Definitely. And I think it's necessary for a show called Heroes that's about people with powers to show you a hero that does not have powers at all.
And it's also like just heroic acts.
Yeah, that's what it's about, and I think it becomes almost like infectious. You know, when you see someone doing something good, and you're like, I want to be able to do that good too, and that's like the best thing about it is like when these deeds are done, you know, they multiply, and even people that don't have powers want to contribute and do that. So I think it's an interesting theme because like not everyone has to have powers to be a hero. Like what defines a hero to you? Just,
Yeah. And they're doing that great with him. Essentially, there's an underground railroad that's getting people out of the United States.
To Canada.
Canada.
Yay! And just so you know, you, my friend, are from Canada. Yay!
Yes,
He
I am,
knew that,
and I'm
I'm sure.
smuggling all
Yes.
these.
No, I'm telling the people at home. You know,
Yeah.
Jake's
You know
from,
where the
Jake's from
underground
Canada. Jake
rail
Manley's from Canada.
Just so you know, so everyone at home knows.
Yeah, I was like,
The phrasing
I know.
was off. The
Yeah,
phrasing
it's
was
off.
off.
You probably
I
know
did
that.
forget.
This is the thing. You know, Canada's supposed to be like, you know, they make the joke about Canada. You know, everyone's just, you know, saying sorry. You know, set a boot. But you know, everything you hear about Canada is really nice outside of the South Park movie. Like everyone loves Canada, and even in Heroes, they are really reinforcing Canada is a safe place. I'm moving to Canada.
Unless
It's a safe haven.
unless the bottom drops out at the end of the series.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the Canada's
Let's
like,
watch. Let's read his.
wars.
Okay, he doesn't.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
stuff happening in the snow is actually in Canada.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not in the North Pole at all.
couldn't
It's,
tell.
it's Canada.
You don't need to go to the North Pole. Just go to a Canadian winter in January, February, and there you go.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Turn me
something.
off from Canada.
Yeah, no.
Just that quick.
Don't go.
Just-
I was joking.
Don't do it.
Please don't do it. I would never wish that upon anyone.
But there's one dirty cop who seems to have powers,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I guess he's either self-loathing or that's what I want to understand is someone in this universe who has powers but uses it to oppress other people with powers.
Well, I mean, he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that he's just using his powers to be a villain. That whether he had powers or not, he would still be oppressing people.
You know, I think so. Yes, yeah. I mean, he's out for the money. I mean, he's made the statement in that scene that they're looking. You know, oh, we just lost
Oh, yeah, he
25
did say
lives. He's
that.
like, yeah, well, now we can have even more money. So what? I'm a pimp. What?
We're gonna get the second El Vengador.
Exactly. Big money, no whammies. Stop.
Yeah, I think it's just he's the bad cop that's tied to the whole El Vengador story, but doesn't really move the story forward with everyone else coming together, you know, for the overall big picture that's supposed to happen. But I think it also just establishes the fact of who's good and who's evil in this show.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it just shows what people are willing to do. Like with these powers, like there are always gonna be those people that want to take advantage, and I think it's just such a relatable theme. Like there's tons of people in the world that have tons of money, and they rather do bad with it and not good things. And I think it's just it's very similar and very mirroring to me, at least. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's right on the money.
It's definitely right on the money, and it looks like El Vengador around forever, here to stay.
Yeah. The reason,
Well,
like,
if he doesn't get his ass kicked again like that.
I'm assuming
That was pretty rough.
I'm assuming he'll get an Alfred or a tech
Well,
guy
like-
to
An
help.
Alfred?
yeah,
he needs some time
guy.
to heal from
outfit
that
upgrade
being.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
and the cool thing about like El Vengador, which is like Batman or you know any other superhero that's human, is not about the person. You know, it's about the concept. You know, Batman is the mask. Batman is the idea. Batman, you know, is the fear that you put in people who do bad things. You know, Batman in the comic books has gone through multiple actual Batmans, and then there's Batman Beyond and so on. So I mean, I think El Vengador follows the same suit. You know, it's
symbol
about
of
what
hope.
it's a symbol. You know, it's about what it represents.
Yes.
There you
Khalil
go.
is subtly putting on his Batman cap to let us all know. Also, I'll bring that up that I host the Gotham After Show here on AfterBuzz TV.
Just a little plug.
Check
it out.
Little plug. If you're gonna plug your hat, I'm gonna plug my show.
yeah.
That's only fair.
Yeah.
I'm just promoting peanuts today. Actually, the peanuts.
We said heroes. Every week we said heroes.
Sorry.
So far, we've been in Illinois, on the way to Los Angeles, in Los Angeles. Before we get to Odessa and then Colorado, let's go to Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
it's
good one.
it's a
Crazy.
worldwide
Crazy.
Shout
journey.
out to the black guy speaking Japanese. All right, I see you. That was dope.
But then
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Harris is pretty cool, though.
He's such a cool guy, Clay. He's amazing. He's such a relaxed, cool guy. So it's great to watch him play that character.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
he's had an amazing
And when
career.
I was watching the episode, I was watching with Toru, who plays Ren, the video gamer, and he's like, his Japanese is so good, like, cause he said a lot of times they get these people that are trying to learn Japanese and they just, he's like, I don't even understand them, so, but English people are like, oh, it sounded Japanese, sure, why not, right? But he said Clay, his Japanese is just like point on, so he
That's
spent a lot of
dope.
time preparing. I think it makes a big difference for especially the fans that watch it in Japan. Like
Yeah.
Toru was mentioning that they kind of take offense a little bit when they're not taking it seriously at the Japanese. So
That's
Arigato. That's all I got. I watch a lot of Naruto.
although that's really important. Also, did anyone catch that at like it was later in the episode where somebody said, "Can somebody get a Harris on him?"
No.
There I'm
What?
pretty-
No.
Was I the only one who caught that line?
A Harris.
A Harris is what I heard. I may have
Because he's got clones,
because
right?
he's a clone. He's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, okay.
There
So
are-
they
didn't catch
made
that, though.
reference to the fact that he has his
can somebody
clones.
get a Harris on that?
Yeah, not Harris. A Harris.
A Harris.
Yeah.
Oh my
Can
gosh.
somebody get the Colorado Harris on that? Not the Tokyo Harris, not the North.
That's a really interesting point. I did not catch that.
I didn't.
I mean, it made sense as power, but I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be, number 22. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
like get the closest
Yeah.
Harris.
At this point, you don't know how many are
Yeah.
out there, right?
And
How
is
many?
that his evolution or is it just science? Because was there a guy named Harris who could clone himself, and then he got either imprisoned and became just multiple Harrises?
Well,
That's
this
hard
is
to
his
tell.
power.
That's hard to tell because they work so well with technology.
Yeah.
You don't know if technology actually influences his power, his original power.
Or there was a guy named Harris that could clone himself, but they killed that guy in testing, and then they just started making clones.
Well, at this point, I mean, I believe it's just his superpower. Like, this is him.
I'd buy that.
Yeah, because especially in his description, his name, Harris Prime.
Yeah.
And then, then it had clone. So, I mean, they differentiate between the original and the clones. And obviously he has to cut off a body part, which a character in Naruto. This is actually a power in Naruto. That they do. They can cut off a body part and that turns into a clone of themselves. So, yeah, I think that's his gift. Granted, we are now jumping into the world of, like, technology influencing powers. But I think for him, this seems like this is just his gift. This is what this Harris does.
Yeah. Also, Chaos 13212 KAYOSS. Did anybody else catch the quotations when I'm sure it was Harris said father to Miko? That
Yeah.
instead of just
I
saying
did
father,
catch-
he said father.
Yeah.
That his
Like
that-
he was lying or something, right?
or that the father only exists in the video game.
What I thought from that was that that she's a creation of his. This was my thought process, but that she is not actually real. She's actually a creation, a video game of some sort.
That would explain.
Then how do you have the human form in real world?
But that would explain the lack of information. Because she was literally just sitting in a room until somebody found her.
Yeah,
And then she just became engaged on this adventure. That makes sense. Even if she was still a real person, that she somehow exists for the purpose of going on this adventure.
and she's also in the comic book. That Ren brings. She is the character that there. I think that she was brought out of the game into real life, or brought or created. This whole thing was created for her, but she had no real full life existence prior to the show.
Maybe she's a clone.
Or DBZ King 02 says the girl is Hiro's clone. Hiro Nakamura's clone.
Which explains why she had access to his sword.
And could touch his sword?
Well, I
There's a
thought it
whole
meant
lot.
like she was calling this other guy her father, and then maybe the Harris guy was thinking, is Hiro really your father, and you're just mistaken?
They could be that too.
I don't know.
That she could.
Maybe.
So what is the answer?
What do you think?
All of the above.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm typing up the press release right now. Heroes Reborn panel, correct.
No, confirmation. No, I think everything you brought up are like super good points, and you guys are very attentive, which I think, the fans that are tweeting in they have some good calls, and you're right. Like when Ren comes to her, he's saying, I finally got to a certain level in the video game, and it told me to come here, and this is why I'm here. So definitely could make sense.
It's a trail of breadcrumbs at this point. Someone is leaving a trail of breadcrumbs to lead to something there. There was something I didn't want to bring up about the scene, and I've got to write down because I love the show, but they do things in Heroes sometimes that are so like, tell as opposed to just show and and let you like figure it out and enjoy it. Like, I'm sorry, but when Harris is walking down to the lobby with the sword, really, when he's like, this is Hiro Nakamura's sword. I'm like, come on, everyone could hear
out in the open.
I'm pretty sure these people know who Hiro Nakamura was. Or is.
And then the guards, these two guards, and their only lines are, "Oh, so she had a sword, and they walk off.
I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was I enjoyed that actually.
I thought that was world building.
Oh,
yeah. The whole.
Yeah, it was just like office gossip. Like that's what I thought it was.
Because
like,
if somebody got into a fight with a sword in the lobby right here,
you'd probably be talking about it.
Somebody on the third floor would be like, "Yo, he had a sword down there." A sword? Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, they crazy down in HR.
Right.
You know what? Ren's power is being at the right place at the right time, or just knowing, where to be when the writers gave someone a line. Because seriously, Ren is always right there to hear the exact perfect thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ren seems to be fitting his I think there's some like very video game exact to all of this that we're eventually going to figure out.
Calculated.
Yes.
And I feel like video gamers, they always think ahead in their next move, and so I think he has a great job of anticipating what's all going to go down.
Mm.
Also, how did Miko learn how to fight with a sword? Even a hilted sword. Like, she took down a couple security guards with that sword. Still hilted before she got taken down.
That was awesome, though.
It was awesome, and I want to know where she learned that.
Well, she learned it because she is a video game character, and that's what her programming is. Mm-hmm. That's what I say.
I could buy that.
That's her programming. It's the Matrix, baby.
She studied in the Matrix for a little bit,
yeah.
She went to school and downloaded the programs.
That was it. Yeah. Speaking of downloading programs, most of you are probably listening to us through your podcast app, through iTunes, or just through iTunes in general, or through the YouTube or the YouTube app. If you're listening to us that way or watching us on YouTube, please feel free to like us, rate us, subscribe us. Keeps this show free. Share us. Yes, share the video.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Share.
Sharing is time-coded shares, exactly where you want to tell people in a comments in an open discussion like Reddit about this. Well, these people say at 318 do all those things. Share us, like us, keeps us free, keeps us very visible, keeps us the best hero show out there.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes.
Let's do it.
So we're going to come back to the United States. We're going to start in Odessa, Texas, with Noah and Quinton.
Quinton, he makes me laugh.
He's the best.
Yeah. Oh, I love Quinton.
He was so extra.
Dude, what are we going to do?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
To have the comic relief, it's definitely needed in the show.
And I love someone like Noah with someone like Quinton. Because this is the first time. This is the first time it's ever happened to Quinton.
Good cop, bad cop.
And Noah is like, dude, this is 84.
Right. Yeah. I found myself like talking to the TV when he got like overexcited. Like, shut up, I'm trying to get shit done.
Yeah. Noah Bennett's got this.
Yeah.
Quinton, like Henry Zabrowski, who plays him, he's honestly hilarious. And I'm sure a lot of the stuff that is making it in the cuts were never in the script, and that's just him going on the fly, which is great. And I know like a lot of people are like, it's so hard to keep a straight face when we're working with him sometimes. But that being said, Jack Coleman, who plays HRG, is also so funny. Like, you'd never expect it, but he's just got the driest, amazing sense of humor, and them together is just gonna be a blast. So
I could buy that. And I just want fun to watch. I want those two every 13 weeks. I don't want or every 12 weeks. You
want to see what's going on.
I don't want them to ever not be together.
Best friends forever.
And because Quinton got shot in the arm straight through, Noah sits him down at the hospital. Tell them it was a worksite accident. The bullet went straight through your arm.
The nail
gun. Easy. Nail guns have a lot of safety precautions on them, but I trust Noah. I trust Noah to come up with a good excuse for a hospital, because Noah's pretty
Resourceful.
affluent with hospitals, so much so that a doctor walks up to him and asks, Noah Bennett, right? And he has to play the skillful dumb. Yes. The skillful dumb of, when was the last time I saw you? He was like, June 13th.
Don't forget a day like that.
Yeah, don't forget a day like that.
Like, seriously, how many times have they mentioned June 13th? I just want to freaking know what happened.
Also, well, that was the explosion.
We know the explosion, but like, what led
Yeah.
up to that?
Well,
All the
that's-
details that we're missing.
That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
Also, did anyone else catch when Quinton and Noah got in that? They're in Odessa, Texas.
Oh, can I stop you real quick just before we
Go
get to
for
that?
it.
Because you mentioned the doctor and that,
Oh, yes.
that hilarious moment. And then there's one more thing that they did. He walks up to a phone and goes, literally, just like this, and goes, send security. Like, he doesn't call or dial. He just picks up the phone and goes, send security right away. Like, you can't do that on a phone. There's not just someone always waiting there going, oh, wait. I heard him. It doesn't work.
Wait, you guys weren't, like, an hour ago when I picked up the phone and said, guys, I'll be there. None of you?
No, actually, I was waiting on the phone. I was waiting on the
Okay,
other
you
one.
were
Yeah,
waiting on that
I was.
line.
I
was like, I heard someone.
I was waiting there.
But it's the little touches here that they get into this truck that they hotwire, and they're in the middle of Texas. And then it's this, like, bald eagle American flag bumper sticker that says, June 13th, we won. I'm pretty sure...
Did it say we won?
I'm pretty sure it said we won...
Oh, I want to look at that again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta look at that
Pretty sure it
again.
was
I
something
don't
along the
remember
lines of June 13th, we won, or something to the affirmative of June 13th, the non-Evos nailed it. Like,
Nailed it.
the non-Evos started.
And it went
where
straight
it's
through.
just- that's
The
so,
revolution.
That's so Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Texas.
Now I want to see that again because I remember seeing the bumper sticker, but I don't remember it saying we won.
June 13th, we won. I wrote it down.
Wow, cold-blooded.
I will find a still,
That is
Oh, yeah.
Cold-blooded.
and I'll find a still tomorrow and tweet it because that's a wonderful detail I found.
Wow.
All about it. They're in the hospital. No stranger to hospitals. The security guards get called. No stranger to security guards getting called. He disappears immediately. But he doesn't just leave, because he could just leave. But he needs information because his memory's been wiped, and he
That's right.
pretty much doesn't know. I'm wondering, is it like a 2 or 3 day period after June 13th of the year prior that he got his memory wiped from, or is there like a 6-month, 8-month chunk of time that he had the Haitian wipe his memory clean?
Yeah, I don't think
Had
they've
to be
ever given the
something.
audience a definitive timeline of how much.
It had to be
was.
something that happened afterwards. It had to be.
I know. Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's
Yeah.
all speculation because they haven't given that information.
I think it has to be at least a week because Noah seems like he doesn't know anything that led up to the event or what happened afterwards. He
It had
just
to be
knows what
something.
happens.
Anyone on YouTube?
Had
Anyone
to
on
be
YouTube?
something.
Which is the same for us because we know there's an explosion, but what led up to it and what happened after it and what was the aftermath.
Also, I may have been incorrect. Lydia Saberos in the chat says no. It says we won't forget.
We won't forget.
See, we're not that cold-blooded.
That makes sense.
Thank you, Lydia.
I will find
Thank
a still to see if I was wrong or
Put
right.
it to test.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thank you, chat, for keeping me to
People
task.
ain't that
There,
bad.
yeah.
Good job.
That's what YouTube chats are for sometimes, where you just don't get to say stuff.
Lydia also says Noah is greater than Batman.
Oh, because he did the
you
disappearing
just
thing.
did too much.
You went there.
You just went there.
You know what's funny? Because I do have in my notes Bennett equals Batman, so that is very funny that I wrote that right there.
That's a little bit
Interesting.
better than that
So-
accusation.
Let's just get to the nitty gritty. Do we think Claire died?
No.
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 I don't think so.
No.
I think
hope
something might be.
Deferring.
Yeah, right?
I think something might be jammed in her skull at the back of the head, that turn off switch, and then you remove that and she's alive again.
I don't even think that. She's
Yeah.
somewhere
She's in
kicking
Nashville.
ass.
Yeah.
She's
She's
in
in Nashville. She is in
She's
Nashville.
singing
We
there.
do know that.
Yeah, she decided to take up a country career.
That's exactly. She's in hiding, singing.
But also, we gotta remember, like, technology does play a big part in all these stories. Like, maybe, like, technology affected her DNA. Because also, with the whole healing and regeneration, it was a big part of her DNA. So maybe that was manipulated in some way to stop her from regenerating and being killed.
I think she's dead.
I don't think she's dead.
Do you think? Okay, so this is the thing. So maybe they're just trying to find a way to kill her cleanly because she can't actually be written into the show because they'd have to recast essentially. So they have to kill her. Is that what we're dealing with right now?
I saw the look this way.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I keep looking over at him. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but I think it makes more like I like the idea of the mystery, but I feel like next week we're gonna find out that Noah finds out she's dead. It's a part of this bigger. I think Renaltis would have been involved in Primatech the whole way through, and Noah found out about the big epic thing, and the best way for it to happen would be to have his memory wiped, so he could go on this big adventure to stop it. I think the Claire of it all is that that's still the catalyst. That she dies. She has to die. I'm just going to say she dies.
It's definitely
Claire ain't
catalyst.
dead.
And Lydia in our chat says she's dead.
Okay, so
Hashtag
everyone's jumping on the
Claire
dead
ain't
board.
dead.
Everyone's on the dead
Well,
board.
other people are saying she's alive.
Hashtag Claire ain't
This is
dead.
what we'll do. Yeah, I will play devil's advocate, and I will go on the alive train. So
Okay.
we've got the dead train, the alive train. I'm going to go with
Somebody
alive.
down or put some cookies down maybe.
Well, I'll put.
Oh
I
yeah, we'll
can't-
put some cookies down.
I can't make cookies. I don't know how to make cookies.
I can help.
Make your own.
This is working out for me. I feel like I won this one.
FaceTime you through it? I don't know.
I think Claire's the equivalent of Schrodinger's cat.
Ooh. She's both
She's
alive and
both
dead.
alive and dead. Until it's revealed. So take the
Right.
lid off of that box.
I know,
Claire
right?
ain't
Seriously. All
Although-
right.
Although it would be weird if DBZ King 02 is like, why would Claire need to change her face? And I was like, that brings up a good point that she could have just got her face mauled and then it would regenerate a different way. That is actually a really easy explanation to recasting.
They could recast
if you had
it
to.
that way.
People would be in an outrage.
I highly doubt that it would regenerate in a different way. Because every time we have seen her face get destroyed so many times, it's regenerated the exact same way.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why she's dead.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's move on to Midland, Colorado, where Midian. Sorry,
Yeah. Sorry.
My L's just don't look right around here. I don't know what that is.
Midian, Midland.
Midland, Midian. It's
Close
Call the
actually
whole thing off.
same amount of characters.
The Midwest.
And we get to move there for the bulk of Project Epic. What was teased at the end of episode 3. I think we were all wrong on our prediction of what we thought Project Epic was.
Yeah.
I
So
don't remember what I said.
None of us said Google Glass.
Google glasses.
Exactly. They can show you
A lot of
evil.
people are making that comment. The Google or
like the Google Glass.
Facebook or Twitter evil.
But
'Cause
like
it
all the
is.
way down to like that keynote address and like the very staunch, almost a TED Talk atmosphere.
Yeah.
We're going to change the world with this technology.
Yeah.
Juxtaposed to Molly Walker literally being tortured.
yeah.
Literally being held captive against her will, tortured, plugged into this matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Matrix.
Or
This is something.
Cerebro.
Cerebro.
That's-
Cerebro
You gotta put a
X-Men.
helmet on.
This is something that's interesting about it. They saved Molly Walker. They saved her.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Noah
yeah.
had her. Whatever they're covering up about Noah's story
It's bigger than that.
is bigger than Epic.
Yep.
Because Molly had the
than
choice. She goes,
Epic.
I can go with you, or I can go be tortured for the rest of my life and being used as the key element of Epic. And she went, I'm going to go this way. I went, what in the hell did he do?
What if you tried to pick up a girl and she said that to you?
I can go with you, or I can go be tortured.
I feel bad for her because like everyone has these awesome powers, and I think she has this power that everyone
She's a
just
map.
wants to like.
She's
You're
a map.
the target of everyone, so
Right.
that they can use you to find everyone. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's always been
true.
exploited.
Yeah.
And I feel
like
bad for her.
At least we hope from the time of the end of the Hero series to now, she got to use her powers a little more. Like a little more with her own agency than how it's being used now, where it's like they literally strap her into a chair to have her find people.
because like she wants to. You mean like?
Yeah, because she wants to, like, whether it be find that guy to steal his money or...
Is that what it feels like to be a woman? Like just everybody after you for your goods?
We won't get into that.
Jeez, my goodness. Let's finish up there. There is something I actually wanted to throw it over to Jake for a little bit. Actually,
Yes.
but okay, we're right here at the end of the episode, so I just want to
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we end now. Epic is launched, and Well, I mean, they're going to find everyone now and take them down,
And
essentially.
I think that
No
kind
bag
of
and tag.
well, and I think that kind of explains why there was almost a loose end of the other 4 topics we saw, including well, I guess not including Miko, but definitely including Tommy and the Gutierrez, and like now we know where the Evos are.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of explains what happened to Tommy in that moment. If we're assuming those moments were the same time.
Right.
That someone hunting Tommy immediately found him because Evo launched.
Oh, that's...
Same with the people at the North Pole who they don't have names. I didn't catch.
No,
any names.
they
Oh,
did.
they have
They
names?
did.
Oh,
They did.
Melina.
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 And I wrote Spirit Guardian. That's what I got.
Spirit Guardian.
And the-
Street,
But you
Invisible Woman.
notice that they're already in, Clay's character Harris is there with
Yes.
the glasses and the guys and the snowmobiles and being like, find her.
Yeah,
So
that's right. He brought his Google glasses. He's going to know
brought his Google
exactly who
glasses
she
ready.
is.
ready to play.
But yeah, I think that gives us a perfect launching point into the rest of this. I also think it kind of mirrors our real world when it comes to just a list of people.
Yeah.
Because like I've been reading about like certain companies like Target or like major retailers are accumulating a list of things you're doing in an attempt to figure out what you might buy.
Well, if you
Yeah,
want to go there, it's
please.
amazing because this is actually years and years and years of research that's been going on for advertising companies, which is why they spend billions of dollars on us. Not to mention on your Facebook, even you'll notice advertisements that are very specific to what you have researched, what you've searched, what you've clicked on. Everything is specified to you. It's to the point that even in the show Futurama, you have dreams that are advertisements, and the advertisers just go into your dreams, and and that's essentially what's happening. They are finding your psyche. I've had things. This is the weirdest thing. I've talked with my wife over the phone, and then I turned on my computer, and there was an ad for it. I'm not even joking.
An ad for talking to your wife.
No. An ad for something that we're talking
I have
about.
one question.
Yeah.
Are you an Evo?
Table flip run. Yeah, no,
Again.
it's really bizarre. Like she was like, "Hey, I want to go to Disneyland." I was like, "No, I'm not going to Disneyland." I was like, "We kids are too young. We'll wait a little bit." And then like I turned on my computer, and it was like Facebook ad for Disneyland. I was like, "That's not cool. Like that is not cool."
And it's also
Stop doing that.
oh no, it's also as creepy as they can figure out just things about you.
Yeah.
Just exactly who you are, like, and it's based on what kind of consumer. But in this situation, it's what if they knew you were something they didn't want?
Yeah.
Like it's power in the wrong hands, and that's what we have with Project Epic, and that's why Noah and Quinton are going to take it down.
Word.
Word.
I couldn't see them just doing nothing about it.
No, they're.
I don't think Noah's gonna stop there.
Although I remember Noah had that like knowing look, where he like it's not like oh my god this is happening as much as. Yeah, that's what I've been afraid people would do to Molly Walker.
Yeah.
That's
I'm afraid for Molly Walker because, just that one plug-in for 10 seconds, it took a lot out of her. So I'm afraid if they might kill her
It looks
early on
insane,
in that
yeah.
process, she's not going to last long.
Well, she has to last long because right now
they're selling a product.
Yeah, right now
She has to, but she's not going to if they keep treating her like that.
Well, until they could like actually utilize her in a digital way, and like they could just take maybe her consciousness and her power from her to use, then they have to keep her alive. They have to treat that girl right. They have to treat her good.
Exactly.
Or just assuming this.
Well, she
won't.
did get a private jet plane, so
Assuming what they're doing to her won't kill her, because that would be terrible if what they're doing to her doesn't actually kill her, but just keeps her in a room screaming forever. That's
that's
an awful-
horrible.
that's the worst of the worst I was thinking for Molly Walker right now.
Pretty grim.
Couldn't scream forever.
Well,
Get
I'm
thirsty
kinda-
after a while.
I'm kind of curious. So in the show, you don't have a power, but if
That
you
we know
could,
of.
if you could have a power, what would it be?
I was going to ask that same question.
Yeah, you're not asking
Good
question. If it was one from the show or just like a power.
It's just
in
any
general?
power.
Yeah, I mean, any power that you could have. How about this? Your power as your character, though.
A power as my character.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
All
As my
right.
character.
Yeah, put you on the spot.
Probably super
I mean,
strength.
knowing
He's a
Brad, it would probably be like to throw the perfect spiral. Perfect spiral, so he could go all state, get the scholarship and everything, not have to worry about anyone paying for it. I think, Brad wouldn't have any of these like illustrious intentions, he'd be pretty simple to be like, strength, something to do with strength and power, something
Called
like
it.
that.
Yeah. How about you personally?
Me personally, someone asked me this and I got like really nerdy as a joke, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what the best power would be is inner peace. Imagine
Look
you
at
could
that.
just
Solid.
be like a
at
monk.
that.
Imagine
Yeah.
you could be like a monk, and it's just like no matter what's going on, you're just fine.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like that's like true power
That's
to
cool.
have. Like it's really nerdy.
Yeah.
And like not crazy illustrious, but if I was gonna do something, maybe like teleportation would be awesome. Something like Tommy's power would be pretty cool. Like stop talking and just you're gone. Like even if you put him in the next room, right? Like doesn't really matter. Like I feel like being in the Bahamas this weekend. I'm gonna go to the Bahamas.
Right.
I think that would be amazing.
I wouldn't have to pay
Now-
for flights anymore.
Yeah, for filming purposes, you mentioned a lot of the characters seen on the show, but what's it like interacting with a lot of them? Do you get to work, because most of your scenes are with Tommy, but do you get to work with other people, or do you get to see them on set?
Yeah, and like besides that, like outside of the show, like there's just so many kind of cast things that we'll do as like a family, and we'll host like dinners and games nights and everything. So it's just everyone knows everyone, even if they don't have scenes together, because as you know, this show is still so spread out, but it's great because we're all like rooting for each other. We're like, oh, it's their part. Like it's great when we're watching it. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you said for your audition, you auditioned a while ago, but then when you got it some time has passed. What was that like?
From when I auditioned to when I actually
when you
got
actually
the part.
booked it.
Yeah, it was a decent amount of time had gone by to the point where I was like, oh, it's probably not going to happen, and I was like kind of letting it go out of my mind, and then it was neat because I got the call out of the blue, and they're like, oh, you got the hero's part, and I was filming the very first day of the pilot, so it was like the very first day of production, and so I was on set like within probably like 4 or 5 days, and it was super exciting to be part of like the very first day because it was just the energy and enthusiasm. Like Tim was there and making sure everything was running smoothly, and they had just it was fantastic. So it was really cool to be rushed in this whirlwind, and then from there I just met and worked with so many great people, and now to see it come out and do the premiere at TIFF and everything like that, it's just been amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to see your character go along for the ride with Tommy, because we know Tommy is destined to help with the whole big storyline in his part.
Tommy
but,
needs support.
bring along
in
his
one way or
his
another,
bro.
so, yeah.
Yeah, man. He needs his bro.
You gotta bring
bro.
bros before hoes, right?
Even though he's
Yeah.
trying to get his girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we did our predictions along the way.
Yeah.
That we probably don't need to do predictions.
Yeah, I know. We really
Yeah,
did.
you
We
guys
did.
had some really good predictions. So.
Oh, see?
Thank you.
See?
Thank
That
you.
means
They're all right. That means they're
I'm curious if there what else can everyone see you
Yeah.
on?
What else you got
can
going?
people find
Plug
you?
your stuff.
Yeah, I just mentioned I just finished filming like a movie for the Lifetime channel that'll come out in the beginning of the new year, probably in the spring, and then I did a Hallmark movie that comes out this Christmas, and yeah, besides that, there's just like some past stuff you can check out on my IMDb and look up. A lot of it's on Netflix and stuff like that. So
Nice.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Jake Manley.
thanks.
Jake Manley, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
This
thanks
has
for
been-
having me,
This
man.
has
It's
been
been
wonderful.
great sitting and talking with you guys, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic.
I think that about wraps us up here for the Heroes Reborn After Show. Starting my left, Marissa, where can the people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
You can find me at Kaibacat, Kaibacat, Instagram, Twitter, all the shebang.
You guys can find me at Steve Kaufmann, that's Kaufmann. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV, tweet about them fairly regularly. Thank you so much for joining us,
Jake.
Thanks, guys.
and have a good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.